Hi, this is JJ from Cuisine on Locale. This is kind of an interesting alternative to cranberry sauce. A lot of people do a cranberry sauce that's with raw cranberries and sugar and raw oranges, and this also incorporates oranges, but this is actually a cooked sauce, which means it is in fact not a relish, which is what the cold cranberry sauce is. This is actually a chutney. And the difference between a chutney and a relish is that a chutney is cooked and a relish is cold. For this chutney, what we're going to use is good old cranberries. These are nice. I'm in New England, so I can get cranberries locally, which is pretty cool. So these are nice Cape Cod cranberries. These were actually frozen because cranberries have a pretty short season. What I do is I just wash the package and throw the whole package in the freezer. And then when I need cranberries, I just pull them out of the freezer. Very convenient. Cranberries, oranges, some kind of fun spices, garlic, onions, salt. So I'm going to start with mincing the garlic. Just a good old-fashioned, bringing it down to a controllable size in little bits. And into this pan, I am going to put some olive oil, some onion. Now, I don't want my pan on a lot of heat here. I'm not trying to brown this onion. I'm just trying to take down the power of it a little bit before I cook the rest of the relish or the rest of the chutney. So I don't want my heat really high. I actually just heated the pan and then turned the heat off for a little while, and I'll turn it back on when I start to feel like it's too low. I'm going to put in my cranberries. As I said, I washed these before I froze them. They're still a little frozen. That's okay. And we're just going to let those start to pop. And while they're doing that, I'm going to take a whole orange. What I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this orange just with a normal carrot peeler, just a good old-fashioned carrot peeler. Okay, and I'm going to take this orange zest, the peel of this orange, I'm going to chop it up into nice little bits. It's a little slippery. Watch out it doesn't get away from you. Okay. When you get the orange peel chopped as finely as you want it, and of course you could go finer, add that to the dish, to the sauté pan. And give this a little shake. Those cranberries are going to start to burst as they cook. Start to get some juices going in there. Turn that heat up a little bit. The reason I turned it down at the beginning is I didn't want to burn the cranberries. I'm just trying to get them cooking. I don't want to burn them. So took the heat down a little bit. Now as they're starting to add some juice to the pan, I can start taking the heat up a little bit. But again, you don't want to lose all that, so you got to be careful not to cook it all off. Okay, what I'm doing now is it's kind of a funny thing. I just want the flesh of this orange. This white stuff on the outside of an orange is called the pith. So when you do this, you're actually pithing the orange, one of my favorite words. What I'm doing is I'm just going after the flesh of that orange. It's called segmenting, what I'm doing right now. I'm cutting in between the structural walls just to get at the flesh of this orange. Taking that out, putting it right in the pan. No need to wait. Oh, I can hear those cranberries behind me popping open. Yum. I'm going to take this orange now. I'm actually going to squeeze the extra juice in there. You can also then take all these little peels and squeeze them in, so you're getting as much juice out of this orange as you possibly can. As much bang for your buck. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. We're starting to get some nice sort of sauce in here. Now, cranberries, as we all know, are extremely tart. So sadly, no matter what, you kind of have to add sugar to cranberry sauce or else it just doesn't taste very good. I'm using a raw sugar here. This is also going to help the cranberries to set up. When this chutney is done, it'll help everything to sort of become more firm. All right. Another thing I'm going to add for sweetness now is these are called zant currant. These are currants. They're dried currants. They look like raisins, and you can get them at pretty much any supermarket. I like them because I don't like how big raisins get in food, and they're sort of blobby. I like the tiny little guys. They give it the sweetness without putting in that sort of blobby texture. You don't have raisin overkill. So I'm going to put in some Zant Courant. Classic chutney, one of the things that you always have in a classic chutney is some sourness. We're going to get that sourness from vinegar. I'm going to use apple cider vinegar. I like this one. It's an organic apple cider vinegar. Keep that simmering. Now I'm going to start to add some flavors into this. You can use fresh ginger or you can use powdered ginger. Either one is fine. I'm going to add clove, which I have in this grinder. A little bit of cinnamon for the season. A little bit of black pepper. Sea salt. You're going to continue to cook the chutney until all of the cranberries are soft, because if they're hard, they're not going to taste very good. So it's going to be very tart. Cranberries are very tart. You can always adjust the sweetening a little bit once it cools, but you do want to let it cool to get a sense of what the flavors are really doing. But once all the cranberries have burst, you get it off the stove. And there it is, a beautiful cranberry orange chutney for your holiday table and your holiday meal. I hope you enjoy.